Welcome to the Lazy Hustlers podcast, where we talk with smart and interesting folks about entrepreneurship, startups, productivity, and anything under the sun that helps you provide value to your life.
Today we have got with us Rishal Pandey Chettri. Rishal is a very close friend of ours and he's been our classmate as well. He was into quizzing from a very young age and slowly and steadily he became what I would say a quiz champion. He has been in national as well as international quizzes. He's also the founder of Knowledge Buddy, which helps teenagers get into quizzing and learn the strategies from someone who has participated and won many quizzes. Recently, he got a scholarship for Sun Moon University, South Korea, and we'll talk about it in more detail with Rishal. Rishal, how are you, Rishal?
Hello guys, thank you so much for having me here. I'm very delighted to be a part of this podcast. I'm doing good.
Yeah, congratulations on the South Korea scholarship. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, yeah, and we would really like to know, how you research for those, scholarships and all. How the whole process. What is the whole logistics, process from researching and applying? How do you do that? How do you find a scholarship for abroad studies and stuff?
So firstly, talking about the scholarship that I've got, it's called the Global Korea Scholarship, and it's awarded annually to around 140 undergrads from almost all the countries. We have 9 quotas for India, and it is given by the Ministry of Education in the Republic of Korea. So it's by the Korean government. And what I would like to see about my experience of researching for the scholarships and like the whole logistics, like I used to be an active member of various Facebook groups where people share about all the fully funded scholarships and everything. So from there, gradually, I saw it. I saw that this is a good opportunity. I just prepared all my documents, wrote the essays, completed my application, and forwarded my application to the Indian Embassy here. And that is how I got selected.
Okay. So, did you have like help from any mentors or anyone from the Facebook group, as you said, that helped you with the admission process and getting to know about the scholarship in more detail?
So like like not just me, the other students who are applying from India, all of us had a lot of doubts about the application process because it's a very lengthy process and the steps involved in it, they take a lot of time. So even for small doubts, I used to ask all the members in the group. I used to just post in the group and like people were there with the answers. And sometimes I used to also message the previous year scholars of Global Korea Scholarship, and they would also be there to, help me clear my doubts.
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
great way to be like
great.
being really proactive and reaching out to people, especially the alumni who have been to where you want to be. So yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, yeah. I really noticed that you were really proactive from the high school times because you're my classmate. And did you prepare for this opportunity from high school itself? Like you knew that you were going to go to Korea for abroad and study abroad and stuff.
So actually, like I had some plans, like not a full idea sort of. I just had an idea that if I do well in extracurriculars, then my uh, application will look good when I'm applying to universities abroad. Because for them, they take into consideration the extracurricular activities, the volunteering
100%.
activities, and that all the foreign universities, what we see in a student is not just the academic achievements, but also the all-round development of a student, which not just sees the academic results, but it encompasses everything such as your skills, your story, the way you write essays, everything. So like
Yeah.
I had some sort of plans to apply for scholarships abroad. Because of that only I joined Facebook groups and all, but like I didn't expect to win it.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so you were talking about the essays that you had to write, right? So what kind of essays were you writing for the scholarship for the university?
So like we had to write two essays. One essay was the personal statement, and the another one was the study plan or the statement of purpose. So in personal statement, they were given like 3-4 prompts question to which we had to answer in about 1,000 to 1,200 words. So there we had to write about why the major that I've chose, and like your background story and everything. Like you need to write it in a form of a story and like convince the admission officers that you are the perfect candidate. And talking about the statement of purpose or the study plan, there like I had to write about my study plan for the 8 semesters that I will be doing in South Korea. So, like I had to mention about what is my plan for first semester, then for second semester, then for third semester, and like write how will I achieve it. So these were the two things that I had to write.
Yeah, great, great. So now that you have to go to Korea and do your studies, right? So like, so you are learning the Korean language, I guess.
Yes. So like my first 1 year of the scholarship period, first 1 year I'll be doing language training in Sun Moon University, and just like IELTS and TOEFL, etc. So for coding language, it is called TOPIK, TOPIK, and there like I need to
Okay.
get above level 3 in order to like start my undergraduation.
Okay.
Like, can you repeat that test again? What you said?
Uh, TOPIK, TOPIK,
Okay.
test of
Great, great.
proficiency in Korean.
Oh, okay, great, great, great.
Okay.
And
And
have you met?
yeah, you can.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. So I was just asking, like, did you have to give any other exams like the SATs that universities abroad have?
So like talking about SATs, so because of the COVID pandemic, last year and this year, SAT is not mandatory for like all the schools. Just some of the IVs have like they prefer students with SAT, but it was not compulsory. And like the language test I gave, so like there's two options. You can take options between two language tests. One is either the TOEFL and the another one is IELTS. I gave the IELTS in about August, and I had gotten a band score of about 7.5.
Okay, that's great. And also, since learning a language is not really easy because when you learn a language, you need someone to practice with, right? So, did you have friends with you whom you practiced Korean while you learned the language? And how did that work?
Yes, so we were a group of about 30 students from different countries, and like we were in the same institute that time. So we used to have regular sessions. We used to converse with each other, and still like I have time. I have about 1 year to improve my Korean. So after I go to Korea, talking with the native Koreans there and speaking with everyone in Korean will make me proficient, I believe.
100%. And what's your
Yeah.
level right now? Like, how good are you in Korean right now?
Right now, like there's like I'll tell you, I need to get topic level 3 by the time I finish my language year. Right now, I'm doing my course for 1A, so it is the basic Korean thing I am in right now since 2 months.
Okay.
It's level 1A.
Okay. So, but actually, the question that I was meaning to ask was like, how good are you right now because of the practice that you've had before? Like, can you converse with a native Korean very fluently, or you just know the basic Korean grammars and all?
Yes, as I said, I am a speaker of level 1A. So level 1A speaker means someone who can understand and someone who can speak in Korean, but not to a fully extent. So like after I was selected, I selected in the interview round. In the interview round, one of the professors was from Korea itself, from the university. So he asked, like he told me to introduce myself in Korean, and I did that. And like no one others, they were not doing that. So like I can talk and I can understand, but the grammar structure I need to crack it.
Okay.
And can you introduce yourself in Korean right now?
Yeah, sure.
For the viewers?
Just a bit.
Can you introduce yourself in Korean right now?
Okay.
Like just try once.
안녕하세요. 저는 Rishal Pandey Chettri입니다. 기록에 저는 만나서 반갑습니다.
Nice.
So that meant hello, my name is Rishal. Nice to meet you all.
Okay, that's
nice. Wow, nice.
And so what were the other colleges that you opted for other than Korea?
So this Global Korea Scholarship, like I applied through university track. So there you need to apply to one specific university. I applied to Yungjin University and I got in the same university. And we had an option to just choose one university.
Okay, but like I saw that you also tried to get into DU, right? DU as well as I think Cornell also. So what about those colleges?
Yeah, in India, I applied to the university as a backup plan, and I've also applied to not just Cornell. I've applied to 2-3 Ivy League schools in the US, and I'm waiting for the regular decision, and it will take time. The results will come in late March to April.
Okay, if you don't mind, which were the other Ivies that you applied to?
So first one I applied to was Cornell. And in Cornell, I chose double majors in international relations and psychology. Then second one that I applied to, I'll tell it in the order. So the second one that I applied to was Brown University. And I also applied to Princeton and Yale.
Wow, that's great. So did they also have financial aid as an option?
So like in Cornell University, we have one which is called as the Tata Scholarship. It's given to 4 Indian students every year by the Tata Foundation. So Cornell University has that, and other universities like some have fully funded, but most of them don't have it. So like even if the tuition fee is waived off, the living expenses you need to do it by yourself. So that is that.
Okay, I guess Yale also has a fully funded scholarship, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yale has a need-based scholarship, not blind school. So there's difference between, so US schools, they have 2 scholarship system. One is need-based and another one is blind-based scholarship. So like you will get like every university has its own scholarship, but like you need to research about it. And once you apply for the financial aid, so then the list will come automatically, like which all scholarships are you eligible for.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, great. So like you recently been to like Egypt, right?
Yeah.
And with your friend Aditya, our friend actually. And what kind of experience did you have, and what you learned in the whole process, abroad country? Tell us everything.
So I, along with Aditya, we went to Cairo in Egypt for a Model United Nations, that is MUN, and it was Africa World Model United Nations. And there, what we had to do was we were representing the delegation of India, and a specific agenda was given. We had to debate, and we had to debate on it, and we had to create resolutions so that the world can adopt it, and like just a simulation of what happens in United Nations. So it was a good experience. I got to learn many new things. That was the first foreign country that I visited, so I learned a lot about myself, to be precise, and I got an experience like of meeting different people, like getting an exposure altogether. And everyone, like people coming from all the places, they have their own viewpoints, their own standpoints on different issues, and like how to negotiate with each other and how to negotiate so that it is, like it is
Improve your
good
community.
for all the youth
Yeah.
of the entire world.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, when we, in general, when we, African people, I know that, African people are, very good, very welcoming and all. How was that experience, with the Egyptians? Yeah.
Yes, so like Egyptians, they were very welcoming in nature, and we did not face much problem other than the language barrier which is there. Egypt,
Yeah.
because most of everyone used to speak in Arabic, and there were mostly few ones who could speak English, so that was there. But still we had our tour guides to help us, and yes, the Egyptians and the African community as whole, they were very welcoming people, and we did not face any problems while our 1 week of stay in Egypt.
Okay. And like, what was the process like from the day one to the end of the session?
So first, first 1 day we had the registration and stuff. We were brought to the hotel. We met all the delegates. Then we had a cultural night that day. And from second day we started talking and debating on the issue of racism faced in the world, and the resolutions that can be adopted so that racism can be brought to an end. So we had committee sessions on that agenda for like 2 days. After that, we had the closing ceremony. After that, like there was a city tour for 2-3 days, and like that was it.
Okay, so it was just for a few
Yeah,
days.
you said about racism and racism, right? So it's a really sensitive topic to come across. How did you prepare for your debate on racism?
So, like for Model United Nations, what one needs to do is in Model United Nations, they don't accept any data from Wikipedia, because in Wikipedia anything can be modified and it's not
Yeah.
controlled. So we had to read the resolutions passed in previous United Nations uh, conferences, and we had to read across the various policies that our country India has in lines with racism and in lines to combat it. So that was how we prepared as Indian delegation.
Okay, sure. And like, how did you come across this opportunity of how did you come across Model United Nations?
By being a part of various other competitions in past, so like I have a good network of people, of other participants who were there in various other competitions. So like we have a group of students from all different countries, and there like everyone shares every new opportunity that they see on the internet.
Okay.
You can find information about anything on the internet. So like there, from that group as such, I find it out. Then in Facebook and in Twitter, of course, I just go to Twitter and I just write randomly competitions. Then I sort it by the date, the recent ones I see it, and I see the other things, and I apply like that to different competitions. So world is in your hands. So like can find information about anything if you really want to.
Okay. So do you have any certain website that you go to for such
No. There's no any such websites as such, and like most of the websites which provide information on all these scholarships and the competitions, like one of them was something called as Mota Chashma. Right now, I don't think it's functioning or not. And in that website, we used to get information about a lot of competitions, but I don't know whether it's active right now or not.
Okay. So being part of communities, right? You are part of some communities from where you get
Yes?
to know. So you are part of some communities from where you get to know about such opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So what are your further goals in the future?
So, like, I've planned to do my majors in computer science with specialization in machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Wow.
So, I came across this major because it has a lot of scope,
100%.
and I also chose Korea for this specific thing because Korea right now is the country which spends the largest budget or largest percentage of the country's budget on research and development.
Hmm.
So that is one of the thing, and also like in Korea, the fourth industrial revolution or the industry 4.0 as they call it, which is the smart manufacturing.
Hmm.
So that is very much taken into consideration in South Korea. So I hope after that I'll do my masters, and after that I'll hopefully gain some experiences, some work experiences, and like after my undergraduation, I plan to work under a professor's lab for 6 months to 1 year to get some experience on research, and after that, no long-term plans as such right now, but I hope to do something in the field of research and development.
Okay, but
Yeah.
since
Mhm.
you took humanities as a subject in class 12, won't it be a bit hard for you to like take up machine learning along with computer science?
I don't think it will be very much hard because you know the what do you say, the curriculum of studies in South Korea is completely different from how we students in India study. So the students in South Korea, they can choose, like right now they are doing the uh, bachelor's in, let's say, humanity subject, but if they want to do masters in some other subject, they are allowed to do so, and they can change their major. So machine learning and artificial intelligence, it won't be a problem. I'm sure of it because I am into coding and related stuff. In class 10 also, I took part in like robotics competition, and from that time itself, I had some interest in machine learning and artificial intelligence, but I did not have the means to, study it for the future.
Okay.
But right now, being a student of humanities, like some social science aspects can also be brought into it, and I'll be able to cope up with it.
Okay. Picking up on what you said about like the universities abroad having an option of where you can just like get into a certain major and come out of a different one. I think that's really good because I heard that a lot of universities abroad do that, especially the ones in the US. So, but in India, we don't have that option, right? So I think that's a really, really good advantage that the students outside have in comparison to here in India. And also, like, could you tell us a bit more about what exactly is machine learning? Because this is a term that's getting familiarized a bit right now. And we know what artificial intelligence is to some extent, but what exactly is machine learning?
So talking about machine learning. So if I want to give a simple definition, then machine learning is like let's say that it, machine learning itself, it is an application of artificial intelligence, and it provides the computer systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being programmed. So, like, if I want to explain that in a simple term to a layman, then um, machine learning is like it is an application of artificial intelligence where we give machines or the systems access to data and let them use data to learn themselves. So there's no need of programming there. The machines themselves, they'll learn from their experiences, they'll learn from the data, and they'll do the needful work themselves.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. And actually, we forgot to ask you about this very early on, but like, how were your parents' reaction to you studying abroad when you said you will be studying
So,
abroad?
like, my parents, they have had a very positive response from the time I said I want to study abroad. Last year itself, I was looking out for various colleges and various other universities that I could apply to abroad in a fully funded scholarship. So they were always there to support me because uh, all the application process of the universities abroad, they incur cost, which is, I see it is huge cost, because just giving the language proficiency test, that is IELTS, it costs around 15,000 INR, and the college application fees, it's different. It's about 100 to 200 US dollars for one university in the common app. After that, other things. So they have helped me both mentally and financially, and they have always supported the idea of me studying abroad.
Okay, and okay, so what are the benefits that you get from your scholarship in Korea?
So it is a full year, fully funded scholarship. I'll get a monthly stipend of around 900,000 Korean won per month. That's about 70,000 rupees in INR. And I'll get the medical insurance will be done for me. Then the airfare cost to and fro for 2 times, it's also included. And after that, I have Korean proficiency exams also. If I get a level 5 within the first year, then I'll get extra $100 per month, which will be added in the stipend.
Wow.
And the tuition fee is waived off, and I get, as I mentioned earlier, I will get 900,000 Korean won in a month by the Korean government. And also there's this reallocation bonus that I'll get. That is like when I go first, I'll get around 200,000 Korean won. And like after my first year, when I reallocate to a different place, that is my major university, I'll be getting around 200,000 US dollars that time. 200,000 Korean won that time.
Oh, great, great, great. So, like, studying in abroad, it can be, a very overwhelming, experience, a new country, new people, new language and stuff. And, you need to also be mentally ready for it. So, like, how are you, planning to be, to establish yourself there, like you have done in India or, Sikkim, I should say?
So firstly, like, I'm learning new things about the culture of Korea, because the culture of a new country is something that you need to respect. So I'm looking at the various cultural aspects of South Korea. And right now, like, I don't have uh, any long-term plans of what I'll do or schedule of what I'll do, but like I I just think that after going there, the first thing that I want to do is I want to register myself in the Indian Embassy in Seoul, because that will make me, because after that, after being a member there, so I'll get exposed to other Indians who are living there in South Korea, and so I can form a greater network with people, and I hope to build great network once I'm there and meet with people around the world who will be there.
Oh yeah. And what about the food? Will it digest the food there?
So like I guess I'll get used to it, because Koreans, they normally have rice a day, so I don't think it will be a problem for me there. The And sometimes, like, if I want to give some treat to my taste buds, then I saw that there are many Indian and Nepalese restaurants there. So, like,
Yeah, that
won't be a problem.
And so, what will be your advice to someone who's looking to apply abroad, or any high schooler for that matter?
So, like, my advice to anyone looking to study abroad is that, firstly, be sure of which university you want to apply to, and read a lot, because see, in while you are applying to universities, then your marks are something that you cannot change itself, because your marks, you'll have to study for that. Your extracurriculars, you will need to work from D1 itself once you are in high school, and take part in the things that will improve your skills, and not just for the certificate, but it has to improve your skills and your experiences. But one major thing that you can change during your application process is the way you write your essays. Because through your essays, you need to sell yourself to the university. You need to convince them that you are the right candidate. Some other candidate must be having a gold medal in an Olympiad, but he or she might be rejected, and you might get selected because your essay was good. The story of your essay was good. So, and in order to write good essays, you need to read a lot. So, my advice would be just to read a lot, read everything that is in front of you, so that somewhere or the other it will come to your use.
Okay. So, how much time did you take for writing your essay?
I took a lot of time. If I had to say, I took some mentorship program from someone from Philippines. I enrolled myself for about 2 to 3 months. He is also a past scholar of Korean government scholarship, global Korean scholarship, and like I started in around May, and I finished writing the essays in around August first week. So like first you need to just sit down, you just need to introspect yourself about the questions, you just need to write it down. Then after you think you'll be done with your essays, but you need to send your essays to around 5-6 people with a different way of thinking. So like just see how they react, and you need to take opinions from everyone.
And
Yeah,
what are the kind of books that you read and you would advise others to read?
So firstly, keeping the books aside, one must read the newspaper every day, especially the editorial section of the newspapers, and you need to read monthly magazines in order to keep yourself familiar with the development that's going around over the world. And talking about books, I was not an avid reader of books because I used to, find reading like instead of reading books, I used to read magazines, newspapers, and other uh, general knowledge books. Like just read anything. Like you can read, uh, you can read a science fiction novel, and the the things that were there in book in that novel that might help you somewhere else while doing something. So like just read everything that's in front of you.
So basically, inculcate the habit of reading instead of just pondering over what one should read, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It can be fiction also. It can be non-fiction also. Self-help, anything. Newspaper, like you said, is a very good reading material.
Because like most people have a hard time just like starting to read, right? So I think just starting with anything, even a comic can be great because you just need to start in order to like get into the habit of reading, right? And then you can maybe like branch out into novels or any other book for that matter. Yeah. So yeah, Sewandeep, do you have any other questions for us?
Yeah. Actually, you teach all these things in your, you founded knowledge, but you teach all these things there, right, to school students?
Yes. It's called Knowledge Body. Like I started it last year, and like gap students enrolled in it, and we guide them like how to embrace yourself and do good in extracurricular activities.
Okay. And like I think you also had a co-founder along with you, right, in this venture?
Yes. He is Tathagat Sharma. He is right now doing masters in economics at Amity University.
Okay, so what are the works that you have distributed among yourselves? Like, does he handle the logistics and you handle teaching students, or how does it work out?
No, we do it like whatever work we'll have, we divide it that time itself and we do it ourselves. So like he takes 50% of the classes and I take 50% of the classes.
Okay, so basically you guys don't have any fixed role as of now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like what are the classes that you have targeted? Like 6th standard, 7th standard, which standard you have targeted the most?
So like we have students from class 11 also. We have students from class 6 also, class 7 also. But the ideal time would be like before starting your high school, that is in your middle school, between classes 6 to 8. So like if you are into something in your middle school, that is from classes 6 to 8, then that habit will continue for your high school and for your senior high school as well. So like we have students from all the classes, but majority of the students are from the middle school, that is classes 6 to 8.
Like, that's the time that you got into quizzing and stuff. So like,
Yes.
Great.
Absolutely.
So do you plan to like continue with this venture further on when you like go to Korea, or do you like plan to shut it down?
So I don't know what we'll do. I need to talk about it with the other co-founder, and we'll figure it out, because once I go abroad, then there'll be this time difference factor will come, and also like I guess the first year it will be like it will be busy for me because I'll be learning Korean language. So we have not thought of anything as such, and we'll continue it no matter what.
Okay, gotcha. So thanks, Vishal, for this opportunity, and it was great having you here and talking to you and getting lots of insights on topics like scholarships and being proactive in high school and everything that you shared with us. So yeah, thanks for coming, and yeah, good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.